What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Weapon X-Men with issue number 3 of this 4-issue miniseries from writer Christos Gage. And this series has been a surprise hit so far, with bringing back a classic villain in Onslaught. And if you're behind in this series, then I'll put a card at the top of your screen right now. And I put a link up at the end of the video too. But the last time we saw this multiversal group of Wolverines, they had caught up with Onslaught on the home universe of their Jean Grey Phoenix. But using the body of Cable from that universe, Onslaught began stealing the Phoenix's power. But fortunately, she was saved by her Wolverine squad. Although upon escaping, Onslaught was finally able to reach full power and is ready to enact its plan. So if you guys are ready to find out if this unlikely group of Wolverines can stop the powerful Onslaught, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this issue starts off like the last issue with the Wolverine team in between worlds. But this time, we get the backstory for Jane. And she had been born to a wealthy Canadian family in 1885. And they had this drunken groundskeeper named Thomas Logan who had a son with the nickname Dog. And when she was small, Dog was her only friend. But after a while, she was ordered to not associate with him anymore because of concerns their romantic feelings might develop. And with them being from different stations, that was a no-no. But Dog, now left alone with his father, and his beatings became very angry and hostile. But Jane, meanwhile, was taught by her mother that while it was a man's world, she must do all she could to ensure that she didn't ever need to rely on a man. She also went on to learn poetry, dancing, deportment, history, finance, and self-defense. But even her mother told her that she'd need to take an appropriate husband, but she had advised her on taking one that was old and sickly. Jane, though, did not want to marry, and she said as much to Dog when she ran into him at the stables. But she noted that in regards to him, that was another mistake of hers. And later on that night, Dog and Thomas Logan snuck in, armed, trying to abduct her. They didn't intend to harm her. Their goal was merely to sully her reputation so that no respectable man would have her. That way she'd be free to marry Dog, making his father rich. But she made it clear that if they carried out their plan, she still wasn't going to marry Dog. And Dog was shocked, and his father was pissed. Then her father rushed in, and he and Thomas struggled over the gun. Then Jane's mother walks in, and in a moment, Jane became an orphan. Then Thomas grabbed her and tried to carry her off, but her powers manifested, and her instinct took over, and she killed Thomas, scaring Dog to run off into the night. And by the time the servants came, her claws had retracted, and like her mother taught her, she grabbed hold of herself and snatched up a letter opener and stained it with Thomas's blood and told everyone that she stabbed him, avenging her parents and defending her honor. And nobody really asked any questions after that, since she was rich, and just like that, she had inherited her family's fortune. At least the good news was that she no longer needed to marry, but it had cost her everything. But eventually Jean Grey comes back, and she's now found Onslaught once again. This time on an Earth similar to hers, but with few heroes or villains. Plenty of mutants though, but the whole costume thing doesn't seem to have caught on there. So she sends them there to confront Onslaught, but she tells them to be careful because Onslaught had already been there for some time, so there'll likely be some traps set up. So be ready for anything. But when they arrive on Earth 31974, they're instantly met by Onslaught, and the Wolverines are ready for this fight. Then Onslaught tells them not to do anything stupid. But then something weird happens with Onslaught, almost as if it were in pain. So the Wolverines don't know what that was, but they consider it a gift and jump right into this fight, kicking and clawing at Onslaught. And Zombie Wolverine is even trying to bite Onslaught's leg, but it does nothing, as Onslaught is a being of pure thought. There's no body for them to wound, no blood for them to infect. Then Onslaught tells them that they're just mere toys to it. Meanwhile, the Wolverines don't relent, and they attempt to spread out and go berserker. But Onslaught doesn't want to fight and calls for a truce. then says that it only wants to talk. And of course the Wolverines are skeptical, and rightfully so, but Onslaught tells them that it's in need of their help. So now they're like, you need our help? Yeah, okay, let's hear it. So Onslaught tells them that it came here several days ago, determined to realize the goals of its foundational persona. Magneto wanted mutants to rule. Jean Grey feared death above all. So Onslaught had planned to make mutants immortal. They'd inherit the Earth, and it had retrieved a magical artifact called the Lifeline Tablet. Then it found a spell to modify and expand its effects. But something went wrong. Instead of just mutants, everyone on this Earth became immortal, but not invulnerable. So people mangled in accidents survived an unimaginable agony. People with terminal diseases cursed to live forever in the infirmary. Every day, more minds cry out, begging for release that can never come. It is more that I can bear, Onslaught says. Jean Grey's formative memory was of her best friend Annie dying after being hit by a car, sharing her mind as she passed. And the young Magneto survived horrors. To feel this pain, constant, ever growing, it cripples me. In Age of Apocalypse, Wolverine thinks that Onslaught got exactly what it deserved. So why would they want to help, he asks. Because I don't believe you'll condemn an entire planet of innocence to an eternity of pain, Onslaught responds. And because this wasn't just a mistake. Someone interfered with my spell and stole the Lifeline Tablet. Whatever their plans for it and this world, they can't be good. And old man Logan is kind of in agreement with Onslaught there. But Jane's like, hold up. We destroyed one world to stop you. What's one more? Then she guesses that Onslaught's still here in this world because it's stuck here. Or perhaps it's in pain now, and that pain will follow. Regardless though, if they help, then it's going to be on their terms, she says. And those terms are that Onslaught will never again enter, harm, nor otherwise interfere with any of their home dimensions. Phoenixes included. So Onslaught agrees, as long as they hold up their end of the bargain. Then it gives them a fragment of the Lifeline Stone so they can track the rest. So they take off, and the scent leads them to Boston. Then Jane picks up on a familiar scent as they approach Bloodstone Manor, Ulysses Bloodstone, a monster hunter with a red gem embedded in his chest that keeps him from aging. Jane had crossed paths with him a time or two before, and it started when he came north hunting the Wendigo and nearly had the stone torn from his body, she tells them. So she nursed him back to health, and they dealt with the beast together, and then they shared some further adventures after that. And the rest of the Wolverines hit her with one of those wow jokes. But she gets agitated with them and tells them that if it was Ulysses that took the tablet, then at least they can reach an agreement to get it back. But she knows that they still need to be careful, because there's no guarantee that this Bloodstone is anything like the ones that they've known in the past. And as they get closer, they can hear the conversation going on as someone tells Bloodstone that they've grown weary of waiting and is ready to feed. And Bloodstone responds that they can when they've dealt with Onslaught. And then we see that it's Dracula that he's speaking with, as well as Selene, who sides with Bloodstone and telling Dracula to have patience. They're all immortal, so there's no need to rush. And in another day or two, they'll feed till their hearts are content. Then it's revealed by Selene that they were in fact the ones that took the tablet, and that there's an entire world of prey that cannot die. Dracula can drink their blood, her their life force, and their friend, Elixiel, the sentient mind within the Bloodstone, their sanity, or whatever sates his appetite. And it's revealed that Elixiel took a millennia to seize control of Bloodstone's body. But then the Wolverines take this as their opportunity to rush in so they can get that tablet back. And as they fight the Wolverines, Elixiel makes note that it remembers Bloodstone killing a Canadian Wolverine man just like them back in 1912. But Jane knows this isn't Ulysses Bloodstone. It's the demon from within the gem, she says. And they continue to fight as Bloodstone slams Jane into a casing that frames that Wolverine from 1912. Claws and all still extended. All while Selene straight dominates two of those Wolverines on her own. But as Bloodstone fights Jane, the spirit tells her that it can sense the connection between her and this body it's in. Perhaps they have some type of relationship in another world. And she says that it's true. She does know a version on her world, but his body could feel both pleasure and pain, something I bet you're not used to. And she pulls him in close, driving those ancient Wolverine claws right into his neck. And as the spirit starts to leave Bloodstone's body from the intense feeling of pain, Bloodstone starts to come to, and he tells Jane that he had grown weak and careless with time. But at last he feels hope, that together they can find a way to end the spirit forever. But Jane then sheds a tear and tells him that she's already found a solution, and she's sorry. Then she destroys the stone. She can sense the spirit taking control back, so it was the only way. Then Jane runs for the tablet and Selene tries to stop her, but Selene gets caught by a zombie and he takes a big bite out of her neck. And now Selene has to use almost all of her life force to fight off the zombie infection. And Jane then smashes the tablet as Selene and Dracula flee. Zombie, meanwhile, is upset that none of them wanted to bite him, making him a zombie-vamp hybrid. But then Onslaught comes bursting through the wall as its power is now returned. Then it tells them that its word is good and it'll keep its end of the bargain, and it merely came to offer some advice. They've impressed Onslaught today, and it'd prefer not to kill them if it can be avoided. But to that end, they better not cross its path again. Meanwhile, though, Onslaught has a private message for Old Man Logan and tells him that it's here to talk to him. It's well aware that Phoenix won't let this go, nor will the other Wolverines. So it's here to make him an offer. Help him remove them from its path, by whatever means. And it will take him back to his timeline, to before he was tricked into killing all his friends. The worst thing you ever did, the worst thing that ever happened to you, doesn't have to happen. And then Onslaught leaves. And Fat Wolverine pats Old Man Logan on the back in celebration. How about that, huh? He asks. We saved the world, ran off the big bad, and didn't even need any help from Phoenix. And we learned some things about Onslaught's weaknesses that we can use down the line. Feels like we're finally turning into the elite team of badasses we were always meant to be. We might actually have a chance. And Old Man Logan replies, yeah, we just might. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about this issue? Did you guys enjoy it? Do you think that Old Man Logan is going to screw over the team in the finale? And how do you guys think this series is all going to come to an end? I want to hear all you guys' best conspiracy theories. And also, how you guys liking this series as a whole? And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some of this dope merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video. And the link will be in the description for that. Or you guys can help out by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll also be a link in the description for that as well to join. But with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we can talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future, with previews for upcoming weeks for the channel, and other comic book news as well. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts in these videos, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, starting at just 99 cents. Now, how's that for an easy way to help out and support the channel? Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of those, then you can still be a tremendous help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.